Oscar nominations are coming out today after being delayed by the wildfires in Los Angeles. We have movie man Erik Childress on the scene to bring us up to date on what's happening at the box office. Hello, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
How are theaters doing, Erik, financially to start the new year?
Well, it's long overdue that we started tracking the tracking services that have been more unreliable than political polling. Because of them, we were expecting at bare minimum the floor for Wolfman to be around 20 million, when it turned out to be barely even half that. $10.5 million over the weekend and close to $12 million through the holiday was a bigger blow to theaters than it was to Universal and Blumhouse for the production that cost just $25 million. Actually, one of their more expensive productions that is a company known for keeping the budgets light and the profits steady. Though it has already led to the Chicken Little story started in 2025 already about the Martin Luther King holiday weekend being down from the previous 2 years, despite it still being higher than 2022. Now, if Wolfman matches its tracking, those stories don't get written. Thankfully, theaters had another film to draw audiences, and one that drew better than even Wolfman, and that was One of Them Days, the comedy with Keke Palmer and SZA. That $14 million production made about that much over the holiday, and is actually one of the best reviewed wide releases ever released in the month of January. At Rotten Tomatoes, Paddington 2 is at 99%, the first Paddington is at 97%, and so is One of Them Days. That's the list, and we'll see if audiences pay attention and continue to discover it in the coming weeks.
Erik, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. I saw The Fire Inside over the long holiday weekend. Here's a quick clip.
There was a girl named Clarissa came into the gym tonight. What you think about girls boxing?
Don't see no reason why she can't. She got hands.
USA Boxing hasn't won a gold medal since 2004.
Yeah, well, none of them boxers was Clarissa, was it?
This is an inspiring true story of a teenager from Flint, Michigan who used her fighter power for good. It's in theaters now and well worth the price of a ticket. And you have a gripping film to tell us about coming out this week.
Well, if you're looking for suspense and action, Lionsgate is releasing Mel Gibson's Flight Risk this week. Now, Mark Wahlberg stars as a pilot taking an air marshal and her fugitive to trial, only he turns out to be a hitman intent on sabotaging the trip, and mayhem ensues. Now, Gibson has had a pretty solid track record as a filmmaker, and yet the studio has chosen not to screen the film in advance for the press, which is not a good sign. We'll see if this can draw enough interest to get Lionsgate close to another victory this year, though signs point to Mufasa the Lion King taking the top spot again, as it will be crossing $600 million worldwide. Disney also just got its third billion-dollar film of 2024 when Moana 2 crossed the milestone last weekend. Not to mention Wicked crossing $700 million and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 over $425 million. All of these films will continue to be in the top 10 this week as well.
There's another film debuting, one that you do recommend. But before we get to that film, what happened with Wolfman?
Yes, Wolfman turned out to be a real disappointment both in the fright department and the numerous thematic issues inherent in both its classic and revamped incarnation. So thankfully, horror fans have another fresh take, although they will have to look around for it in more limited release. It is called Present, and it is the new film from Steven Soderbergh that premiered at last year's Sundance. It's another haunted house story, but with a twist, as a family moves into a new place while we watch the ghost's point of view in observing them, making it much of a domestic drama as a creepy mystery. I have a few issues with the film, including why the ghost sits on their hands for so long during a crucial scene, but it is a unique take on an old tale and makes it one to look out for.
Now comes the fun. You're headed to the Sundance Film Festival, and we'll be back next week with the updates on all the film studio deals and some of the best films to look forward to. We can't wait. Safe travels to you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie. See you when I return from Park City.